You're watching the Sporting Time Show with host Doug Thompson. Sponsored by Jewelry Barn and Pawn Shop.
Good evening. Welcome to the Sporting Time Show. I'm Doug Thompson. Of course, Taryn Johnson in with me this week. Taryn, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Doug. How are you? Thank you so much for having me back on the Sporting Times.
Listen, it is great. You have an open invitation here every single week, as long as you don't get tired of me, which would be a bad thing, right? If you didn't show up, people would start talking, but it's great to have you here. Plenty of basketball news from last week. I do want to mention, though, Taryn, that we've got a special announcement that we are going to release on social media about the Sporting Times, our live stream, and how we can possibly help area schools with some revenue. So stay tuned, the Sporting Times, social media, and our website for all that information. But some other big news that happened this week was the Metcalfe County Lady Hornets.
That's right, Doug. They won the 4th Region All-A Classic, a 5-point win over Clinton County. And congratulations to the Lady Hornets. A big win, and they will now punch their ticket. They'll play next month in Richmond, Kentucky. Exciting for them.
Yeah, they're going to play Danville, Kentucky. And, you know, we caught up to Coach Coffey after the big win. This is what she had to say.
Here with Coach Coffey after the Lady Hornets win the 4th Region All-A Classic. Coach, talk about what it means to go back to Richmond and how you think your team plays.
Well, you know, we're really excited to be headed back to Richmond. A lot of our girls got to experience that a couple of years ago, and that's definitely been one of our goals this season. Some of them haven't got to do that either, so, you know, we're really excited to get to go, and we're really looking forward to it, and I'm glad we can come out with a win tonight.
Your team amped up the pressure against Clinton County and forced a whole lot of turnovers, and your girls got a whole lot of layups, but couldn't convert on some of them. Just talk about that, and was that?
Yeah, I thought that Clinton County did a good job of kind of slowing us down. We're a team that likes to play pretty fast pace, and they kind of made us slow it down. And you know, that really wasn't our game, so we had to do something to kind of get the ball moving and to get a little more fast-paced game. I thought that the full court pressure worked in our favor. You know, getting those turnovers and turning those into layups. I thought that was definitely something that helped us out.
Obviously, you're going to Richmond, but Metcalfe always travels well, but in COVID and everything, you won't get the full crowd at Richmond and everybody that could travel. Do you think that will affect your girls, or?
No, I think the girls still know that the community supports them. Even though people couldn't be here tonight, I'm sure we had a great viewing on the Hornet News Network, and I'm sure Richmond will have some sort of thing where you can watch live. So I think that the girls will know, even if there's not as many there, I think we'll have a good showing for whatever we're allowed to have, and I think they'll know that they have that support back home, because Metcalfe's a great place to play basketball. The community here is very supportive of basketball and the girls, and I'm glad to be coaching here.
All right, congratulations on the win.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you, Coach Coffey. Very excited, and congratulations to them. So the boys and the girls All-A champs have been, they've punched their ticket.
That's right.
Clinton County at 8-1 as we tape this show is going to be a very tough out for somebody in the All-A.
Absolutely, and we were really close to having Metcalfe County represented in the boys and the girls. Clinton County defeating Metcalfe County 62-59 to punch their ticket, but Clinton County is really rolling right now, Doug. They're playing some great basketball.
You know, they always punch up. Coach Messer always is looking for the bigger team to play during the regular season. He prepares his guys, right? He wants to take on the best that he can possibly play, and I think that's going to pay dividends. And, of course, Metcalfe County, they're a young team on the girls' side, but, you know, they're going to play a very tough Danville team. They score a little bit more than Metcalfe does on average. They've got some more seniors. But TJ Coffey is one tough coach that knows how to play the game and knows how to coach the game, so it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, she's coaching those young girls up, Doug. Yeah. And it's great experience for Metcalfe County, regardless of how the game turns out. Fantastic experience for that young team.
Maybe you and I should take a road trip, right?
And go to Richmond,
Kentucky, and just find out for ourselves, what's going to happen. But congratulations to both of those squads. Of course, Clinton County will take on Evangel Christian, who right now is 3-4 on the season.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to give any bad luck to Clinton County, but it looks like they're going to get through the first round probably.
Yeah, the Eagles not the best start to their season at 3-4, not even a 500 record. You got to think Clinton County feels pretty good about that matchup and about advancing into round number 2 there.
Well, one thing about Coach Messer, he will not underestimate anybody in any game. So we'll see how they do. And by the way, in the last segment today, we've got the Players of the Week, so stay tuned. More interviews and more Sporting Times right here on WNKY NBC 40. We'll be right back.
You're watching the Sporting Time Show on WNKY 40 NBC. And remember, like us on Facebook and follow ST on Twitter.
Welcome back. Our first guest of the show has been with the Greenwood Lady Gators in his 5th season. We want to welcome him in now, the head coach of the Lady Gators, Zach Simpson. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Coach, you know, one of the universal things that all coaches agree on this season is that it has been anything but ordinary. You guys have played 4 games. You're 3-1 on the season. But wow, talk about juggling this season for you guys.
You know, first of all, we're approaching it with a positive attitude. You know, that's the first thing. You know, no matter what obstacles get thrown our way, we're just going to consider it, you know, we got a gratefulness that we are able to play. You know, one of the big things we want to tell our kids, and I think every coach would agree with this, is you want to teach them life lessons through the game of basketball. And I think this season is really good on teaching them how to handle the adversity situation that's coming towards them. So, you know, first and foremost, with anything that comes to us from this pandemic standpoint, you know, my first priority is the health and safety of our kids, you know, so all basketball aside, you know, if something were to happen, I'm going to focus on, you know, making sure that whoever knows that we're with them and we're there to lift them up. And, you know, we're focused on them from a health standpoint. And then, you know, then we'll approach it from a basketball situation. So the kids have been great. I mean, The kids have been great. Our coaches have been awesome. You know, our parents have been fantastic. You know, whenever you have parents, coaches, players who can adapt on the fly like we do at Greenwood, it makes it that much better. But yeah, we're grateful to play, and you know, we're taking it one day at a time.
Coach, you have 3 outstanding players that score in double digits with Jackson, Trin, and Grant. Jacqueline Jackson averaging 22, 23 points a game. Talk a little bit about how they get into a rhythm with games being canceled and practices being altered. Is it difficult just to get the basics down for the players as far as, you know, hitting consistently the free throws, and maybe not so much for these 3 players, but in general, is it difficult to get them into a rhythm?
You know, I mean, I don't think it's difficult. I mean, those 3 players that you mentioned right there are such hard workers. They're so good at their craft and what they do that I can trust them as far as, you know, even if we're off at a certain time, that they're going to do what they have to do, you know, in isolation or whatever it may be, in order to be ready if we have to come back. But, you know, getting that practice time in and, you know, working with kids one-on-one and from a team standpoint, you know, it's tough. It is. I mean, it's tough on all of us, but they handle it really, really well. So I never have a worry, you know, if we're going to go through some type of adversity, I never have a worry that my team's going to come back and be ready, because I know they're going to do what they need to do at home, and they're going to do what they need to do in order to get back and be successful. But yeah, we're just approaching it like that, you know, and I make sure to stay in contact with my kids. But they're so good at their craft and in what they do that I trust them completely to get back and stay in the type of rhythm that you're talking about.
Coach, when you look at the fact that you've got 4 games in this season, you have 14 regular season games remaining based on the schedule as it is right now, but you've got a really good team with a lot of potential. 14th district, always difficult to compete in. How optimistic are you with your team's chances of getting out of the 14th district and getting to a 4th region tournament?
Well, you know, we love our team. I'll be honest with you, Doug. We really do. We feel like we have all the pieces right now to be able to compete for this 4th region and to be able to, you know, come out of this district where we need to be. I feel like, you know, our guard play is really strong. I feel like between Jacqueline and Leah, we have, you know, one of the best, you know, one of the top 1-2 guard combos in the state as far as from a scoring level. And to be honest, you know, against Allen County, Jacqueline put up 36. Against Logan County the other night, Leah had 26. and we've only played 4 games, so they haven't had a game where they've both had their best game together yet.
Yeah.
So that's going to be beautiful to see whenever that happens. And Kayla's coming in and she's doing what she needs to do in the paint. She's creating, getting some of those buckets, trying to, getting offensive rebounds off of misses. But we've got, not just those 3. We've got, people who are really stepping into their role and getting better. Not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. That's our big focus right now. Is we really want to focus on the defensive end. Olivia Lovell and Overmall, Nicole Milam, Rachel Evans, they're all stepping up, making good plays.
It's going to be an exciting rest of the finish. Coach, thank you very much for joining us. Look forward to seeing you on the court, and thanks for checking in with us.
Yeah, thank you, Doug. Appreciate you having me. Have a good
All
one.
right, thank you, Coach. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more of the Sporting Time Show right here on WNKY NBC 40. Watch live Greenwood Gator and Lady Gator basketball with Brent Thompson on stfanclub.com. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Welcome back. My next guest has been a fixture in the Warren East Lady Gators basketball program for years and years. She's been the head coach going into her 2nd season. I'd like to bring on our show right now Jennifer Neville, the head coach of the Warren East Lady Raiders. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you inviting me on.
Coach, it's kind of like a girls basketball all 14th district show today. And whether you're a head basketball boys coach or girls coach, you've had to navigate through some cancellations like everybody else has. Kind of talk about that with your program. You've got 2 outstanding players in Caroline Forrester and Lucy Patterson. But just overall, what has it been like for you this season?
Well, it's definitely been a challenge as a head coach. Just the situations, it's just a fluid situation. We are changing our schedule. I would say sometimes by the minute, just depending on if someone can't play or if someone can play. So it's just learning to deal with being able to control things you can control and just move on and do what we can do. So which is what I've been doing, and every other coach, I believe, in the state of Kentucky. When we get a cancellation, we're already out there on our email looking for the next game because, like you said, Lucy Patterson, Caroline Forrester are only 2 seniors. And at the very beginning, we were nervous we wouldn't get a season. But now that we do get to play, we want to make sure that they get to play a number of games.
What is it like to coach 2 student athletes like Caroline and Lucy who, play multiple sports? I believe Lucy plays 3 sports. Caroline may play soccer. I'm not sure. I know she plays 2. What is it like to coach athletes that are so gifted?
Well, both Caroline and Lucy are gifted and can play anything they want to. Yeah. Of course, Lucy plays 3 sports. Caroline plays volleyball as well as basketball. I used to play softball, so she used to be a 3-sport athlete as well. But it's great coaching young ladies like that because they are great people on the court and off the court. They're great student athletes. I don't ever have to worry about them getting their work done or passing their classes. Yeah. It's been wonderful. And as far as athletics go, you couldn't ask for 2 better athletes to have on your team.
Last week you picked up a 14th district win, and it was your first one of the season. But you have the makings, Coach, of a very talented team, a very young team. But how excited are you to kind of get through some consistent games, because it hasn't been consistent, and to see what your team can really do?
You make a good point. That's been some of the toughest things to deal with right now, is just being consistent and being able to continuing to practice and continuing our ball games. We've started and stopped, I believe, 4 times now, whether that being from a state mandate or quarantine. It's been really tough to get in a groove, and it's really shown at the beginning of our season that we are not in basketball shape. We're not in game shape, and the only way to do that is to play games. and we have been fortunate enough to get 4 games under our belt so far, but we are nowhere near where we want to be. Yeah. And what I try to remember is the most important thing is playing our best basketball at the end of the season and being competitive in district and making it to region. And that's our goal for this team, just like it was last year. And we hope to just build upon that. Well, you certainly have the players. And what kind of influence do your 2 seniors have on your younger members? And we've got about 40 seconds left, Coach, just if you would address that. So Lucy and Caroline have really stepped into the leadership role and encouraged our younger student athletes. And, you know, that's something we talked about in the beginning of the year. We sat the 2 seniors down and said, look, you have a very talented group, but you're going to have to be patient and really encourage them. And they've done a very good job of doing that because we have the talent. It's just going to take us some time to get there. And thankfully we have those 2 leading us. Well, there's still plenty of basketball to be played. Hopefully we get through more consistent games. And Coach, thank you for what you do and all the coaches around the 4th region for what you do in teaching, and look forward to having you back on the show as we get further into the season. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Taryn and I wrap things up on this edition of the Sporting Time Show right here on WNKY NBC 40. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. 2 great interviews today. I want to thank our guests today, and Zach Simpson and, of course, Jennifer Neville from Warren East and Zach from Greenwood High School. But I got a riddle for you, okay? Okay. The riddle is, since January 4th, I'm not sure this is a riddle, but since January 4th, there have been 45 cancellations. How many games do you think have been played in the 14th district? 45 cancellations in the 14th district. I would think at least more than 45, Doug. Well, the answer is 45. 45 and 45. That's crazy, man. It's not a riddle, but it's strange numbers, right? Yeah. That you can have. That's crazy, Doug. It doesn't seem like we've had that many cancellations. You know, we've had so much good basketball and so many noteworthy games and performances by individual players that it doesn't seem like half the games in District 14 have been canceled so far. It's crazy. You've got 5 teams here, and when I started to look at the number of cancellations, there were different numbers, right? And then you look at the number of games played, and again, different teams had different amounts of games that they played, and it came out to 45, and I'm like, no, this calculator can't be working right. It's got to be. So that was as of you and I did the show. It's going to change by the time the show airs, but we're going to stick to that 45 and 45, and hopefully that cancellation number will go down. Yeah, Doug. Hopefully by the time this airs, the cancellations will be far less than the actual number of games played. But really a telling statistic as to how much COVID-19 has impacted the high school basketball season this early. Yeah, it's been amazing. But on a separate note, on some of the boys, I guess highlights or points of interest, as we look at Warren Central, they started off with a bunch of cancellations, 5. They're 3-1. Everybody thought, well, they're young, they're going to rebuild. No, Warren Central doesn't rebuild; they reload. That's right. And here they are at 3-1. Greenwood's having a good season. They sure are, and they've played the most games of anybody in our area. They played 9 so far. They're 5-4. Only 2 COVID cancellations. But going back to Warren Central, they dropped their season opener, and then they win the next 3. That's a telling sign of a young team. They're able to bounce back like that. Yeah, Franklin Simpson 3-1 in the season. Same thing, yeah. Very, very strong. Barron County, this is very interesting. 6 of 7 they have won, but they lost their star player. Yeah, that's just a great team effort by the Trojans there. They sit at 6-3 as of this taping, but you're right. They've won 6 of their last 7, and they're playing great team basketball. Yeah, they sure are. Aiden Nyken, we want to wish him a speedy recovery. And then on a separate note, on the girls' side, congratulations to Metcalfe County senior Macy Welch. What did she accomplish? She scored her 1,000th point in the 3rd quarter of January 19th game versus Edmonson County. She had 15 on the night, and the lady
Lady Hornets come out with a 69-60 win.
That's
a great night right there.
That is a great night. They presented her with a ball. That is fantastic. Now, Girls Player of the Week. We're going to start it off with our honorable mention, and this young lady will be, eventually, she is so good, Lucy Patterson of Warren East, 19 points. Last week in one of her games, she averages 19 points a game.
Yeah, strong performance by Lucy. They score 47 team points. She has 19 of those. That's a great performance by her.
And then we have Clinton County freshman guard Landry Moon, 16 points. She averages 10.3.
That's strong that she's averaging 10 as a freshman. We have Barron County's Raven Ennis. She has 19 points, averaging 15.6 so far in the season.
All right, for the Girls Player of the Week, one of my favorite players, Franklin Simpson senior guard Kate Norwood, 24 points on the night. She averages 18.6. How about the guys?
All right, so our guys' honorable mentions, Barron County Trojan senior Gavin Winthrow has 19 points in a 69-41 win versus Monroe County. Edmonton County Wildcats senior John Smith also has 19 in a 65-59 overtime win versus Butler County. Congratulations to those two fellas right there.
And both of those guys average 8.2 or 8.4 points per game, so congratulations to them. And our guys' player of the week, Franklin Simpson, right? We've got double Franklin Simpson players of the week. Senior guard Andreas Miller, 34 points. He averages 25.2. He is a player. He is a scorer.
34 points in a 60-52 win versus Russellville. What a performance by Andreas Miller. Fantastic game, young man.
We have so much fun with the players of the week. We can't wait to get to the segment, but we want to thank our guests again. Everybody have a safe week out there. Join us next Saturday, same time, same place. For Doug Thompson and, of course, my co-host here, have a great weekend.